Hello guys, welcome to the course of Level 8 API Development Tutorial. This is our part number 32. Inside this video, we are going to install Laravel setup as well as JWT package installation. If I back to slide, so in the last video, we had discussed the scope of this third phase of API development. So here are the tables, and inside this list, here we have the APIs. Now this time, first of all, we need a Laravel setup as well as JWT package installation. So simply, we need to use a composer command. By the help of that composer command, we will create our Laravel setup as well as to install JWT and configure inside Laravel setup. We have few steps. If you go to this slide, so first of all, we need to install JWT package, and the package installation we will do by using composer. Now next, inside app.php file from config folder, we need to update providers array as well as aliases array. Next, we need to configure or publish our JWT config file. After publishing this JWT configuration file, next we need to generate JWT secret key, and finally we need to update our auth.php file. So how can we proceed with the application setup as well as this package installation? We have an article over this topic. If I back to browser, this is blogging website onlinewebtutorblog.com. Go inside articles, click on Laravel 8, and if I search here, let's type JWT, press enter, and here you can see that we have an article over that topic. So simply, if I click on this article, scroll down, now here as we can see that we have the complete table of contents which indicates all about application setup as well as JWT package installation. So first of all, we need to install a Laravel setup. So for that, from this document, I will copy this composer command. So copy, back to terminal. Currently we are inside this Laravel folder, pasting it here, and let me call it as API phase 3. If I press enter, we need to wait for a while because the setup installation is in progress. And as we can see that setup has been now successfully installed. If I back to folder structure, here is the folder. Let me open this folder into VS Code editor, and for the time being, let's create a database. If I back to browser, go inside phpMyAdmin, click on databases, and let's say that API phase 3. This is the name I am creating for this third phase of API development. So I have copied, click on this create button, database created, and right now there is no table inside this database. Back to VS Code editor, and to configure or to connect with the database, open up this file called .env, and from this .env file we will update all these DB connection variables. So here we need to pass our database name, in my case the username and the password admin@123. In my case, in your case it may be different. So after configuration of this project setup as well as with the database connectivity, now we can install JWT package. So if I back to this blog article, scroll down, and here you can see that install and configure Laravel JWT auth. So here we have a composer command. So simply I will copy this command, back to terminal, and what I will do, first of all, we need to go inside our project setup what we have downloaded. So cd, let's API phase 3, and inside this setup we will install JWT auth package. So pressing enter, and as we can see that package now installed. So after installation of this package, back to article, next we need to run php artisan migrate command. By the help of this command, actually we are going to migrate all the pending migrations and create database table. So simply copy this command, back to terminal, pasting it here. So before running this command, if I back to editor, go inside database, migrations. So right now we have 3, and these 3 are by default migration files. One for users table, next one is for password resets, and finally we have failed jobs. So if I back to terminal, press enter, and as we can see that all the migration now migrated successfully. If I back to database, reload this structure, and we have the tables. Back to blog article. So the first step, what we had seen all about package installation, now we have done. In the next step, we need to update this app.php file. So back to blog article. So inside this app.php file from config folder, we should find 2 arrays called providers and aliases. Inside this providers array, we need to add this line. So simply if I copy this line, back to editor, go inside config folder, and inside this config folder, as you can see here, app.php. So simply you can search providers inside this file, or simply scroll down, and here we can see that we have a providers array. Now inside this array, simply I will paste that line what I have copied. Now next, we need to copy these 2 lines and paste inside this aliases array. So simply copy, back to editor, go inside this aliases, and at the footer I am pasting those 2 lines. So successfully now we have updated this app.php file. If I back to slide, so this is the step what we have completed, and the second one also completed. Now next, we need to publish our config file. Back to blog article, and here we have the command. So simply I will copy this command, back to terminal, pressing enter, and now JWT config file now published. We can find our JWT config file inside config folder. If I back to editor, reload this directory structure, go inside this config folder, and here we can see that we have jwt.php file. Now next, we need to generate JWT secret key. So once we create JWT secret key, automatically that secret key will be added inside this .env file. Right now as we can see that inside this .env file, we don't have any variable with the name called JWT_secret. But when we will create, automatically this file should contain a JWT secret key. Back to blog article, scroll down. To generate a secret key, we need to run this command. So simply I will copy, go here, pasting it here, press enter, and as we can see that JWT auth secret now generated, and this is the key. When we go inside this editor, .env file, and as we can see that automatically the key has been added now inside this .env file. If I back to slide, so step by step now we have completed from 1st to 4th position, and the final one we have left, update auth.php file. So for that, if I back to blog article, scroll down, and here we can see that configure auth guard. So open up the file called auth.php from config folder. From config folder we have auth.php, and inside this auth.php file, simply inside this defaults, we need to update guard equals to API. By default it is equals to web, so I should update API. Back to article, and here inside this API array, simply we need to change driver equals to JWT. By default we will find inside this guards API driver equals to token. So inside this case, I will change from token to JWT. So this is all about our basic settings of JWT package inside this Laravel setup. Few more settings left which is associated with model, because inside this model, as we can see that we have imported this line as well as we have implemented JWT subject. So in upcoming videos we will do all other left settings with the model and other things. So successfully guys, inside this video we have installed application setup as well as we have installed our JWT package. So for this video session guys, thank you for watching and have a great day.